I can show you the world, shining, shimmering splendor. Hello and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee. I'm the senior minister here, or the spiritual leader. Hey, I'm the guy here that sometimes I'm in charge. But the main thing we are about is God is in charge, and we have a very special Sunday service for you today. Friend of mine, person I've known since 1999, will be our guest speaker, Reverend Sophia Falke. Now, I label her as a guest speaker, but she really isn't a guest speaker because she had the Unity Center in the Valley, which was here in Las Vegas, and it emerged with this ministry. So actually, she's just coming on home. Now, she's a very special person. Gosh, she has many, many talents, but that's the main thing that I want to talk about. An excellent minister, outstanding speaker, teacher, and then upon that, you'll find out she's a great storyteller. And with that, she delivers a fantastic message. Be open and receptive to it today. Also, by the way, I forgot the title of her talk is A Whole New World. I'm ready for one. I know you are too. Stay tuned so we can develop one together. Also, I just want you to know that following the wonderful lesson that I know she's going to give, we have our very own Marilise Manzan. Now, special person. The reason why she's so special, she was on the team that reviewed me coming into this ministry. So she is real special. But not only that, a magnificent spiritual light, meditator, coach, teacher, steeped in a basic tradition of meditation that goes back in all kinds of disciplines because she studied in India and Egypt and also Mount Shasta in Australia. She's really been around. The message and the meditation coupled together, it's a fantastic day. But then the third M, we're going to have very soon, and we'll have a wonderful music. But before we get to that, I want to just take a moment to open you up with prayer so we can get centered for a fabulous service. Just take a moment. Relax. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Infinite Spirit that is everywhere, presence that has the supreme label of the love and the essence of everything, we're open and surrender to you now. We're ready now for your vision to fill us, and so that we can reflect that magnificent vision into creating a new world that is in vibration and harmony with you, a new world that is in sync with, ready to emerge right now in the midst of all this chaos, a new world that's filled with so much love and joy and happiness that the only thing that can stop it is us getting out in the way. So we're saying today, we're getting out of the way and we're letting it all flow in and through us, in and through this entire world, and in and through the entire universe that we are now in harmony with. This is our prayer. We name it and claim it, and so it is. Amen. And so now, let's get ready for a fabulous song. God bless you.
Good morning. We have a special treat this morning to begin with a song from the movie Aladdin. It's called A Whole New World. My invitation to you is appreciate the words of this song because I'm going to be referring back to it quite a bit during my lesson. And if you go to the kitchen, you just might miss an important lesson from the song itself. So take a moment now and sit back, relax as Michelle and John share with you a whole new world.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, teacher, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with
Now
you.
I'm in a whole new world with you.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world,
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your breath,
things to
it gets
see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I used to be.
With new horizons to pursue.
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare.
Let me share this whole new world with you.
A whole new world.
A new fantastic point of view.
No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new
Every
world.
time I slip by,
With new horizons
every
to
moment is
pursue.
new. I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Anyway,
Time to spare.
let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new
A
world
whole new world.
where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
Thrilling chase.
A wondrous place.
A whole new world. Do you remember when you were a child and anything and everything was possible? Do you remember that? I mean, you could accomplish the most amazing things. And then an adult or a sibling or a teacher even came along and said, "Get real. Stop daydreaming." Did that ever happen to you? I know it did to me every now and then. But I had the thrill of adventure without a lot of people around me. Because when I was about 5, we moved up onto Elm Street. And in front of our house, there were 3 trees. Now, my sister, who is 4 years older, immediately went to the first tree and started climbing. It never dawned on me that I might have to wait 4 years until I was physically and mentally and spatially mature enough that I could do the same. Now, I couldn't quite reach that first branch, but I got a flagstone and I put it up against the tree and I put my toe on the top of the flagstone and I reached up and I was able to pull myself up with my little feet going up that trunk and then over the limb, and then I get up there and I sat and I celebrated. I was on that first branch. Any tree climbers out there? Okay. Oh, yeah, there. I said, oh, there's a bunch of you. Uh-huh. Oh, and then there are a few that think we're nuts. And that's okay, because you had your own adventures and you had your own creativity. So just come along with us tree climbers for a little bit, and I think you'll get the gist of it. So eventually, I was able to conquer that first tree. And it was amazing to be up at the top, up where the breeze swayed you as you clung to that thin sliver of what was left of the trunk. Well, after the first tree, of course, I had to go and find the second tree. And that one was a great leap to get to that first branch. But I did it in the same process. But I noticed with this tree, it was the first tree, I didn't let go of that old branch until I had a firm hold onto the next one and I could swing my feet over. On the second tree, though, my confidence and my faith had grown so that I would leap over, knowing that I could grab that branch and let go of the first one before I had the second one in hand. So it was my own little 7 or 8 year old leap of faith. And I conquered that tree also. Then finally, the third tree, the one by the driveway. And that one, the first branch coming out of the trunk was so high up, I would have needed a 6-foot ladder to get to it. But there was one branch that came down. And if I could jump just high enough and grab that branch and then hook my leg over an outcropping of it and get my leg over and then swing onto the branch and then scooch my way up. Scooch, by the way, is a technical tree climbing term. And get up to that trunk. And then that tree also, I finally conquered. And that was the tallest tree of all. And when I got up there, one time I brought a white rag so that I could tie it up there as a flag of courage, opportunity, of vision, of conquest. And up there, I could see even more than from the first 2 trees. I could see over the valleys and the hills, and it was all mine. And that flag up there, that reminded me when I was back down on the ground of how high I could go in my imagination. And it reminds me of the scripture from Joshua. When God is directing Joshua just before crossing the River Jordan into the promised land. And God says, every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you. No one shall be able to stand against you. I will not fail you or forsake you. And later on, he tells Joshua to have courage, because God is with you. And that image of having everything that I put my foot on, the sole of my foot, whether it is when I would go off wandering in the woods. And this is way back when we could have free-range chickens, or children rather, free-range children, where we were allowed to go out and explore. without somebody always watching over us. And I did. We had woods behind our house. We had them up the hill. And I would get lost and explore and revel in the wonder of it all with that child's innocence. And in my mind, when I was at the top of that tree, I had that same setting the sole of my foot, my imagination, and knowing that all of that was mine. I mean, I could do anything. I could even soar on the wind. And no, I didn't try to jump off the tree. I had enough sense. So I was placing mental feet, my imagination, and sending out to the universe a clear image of what it was I wanted. Do you remember a time when your imagination took you to places fantastic and whimsical and expansive beyond your human condition? Now listen to that. Beyond your human condition. We could do anything, couldn't we, in our child's imagination? You know, a time before we were poisoned by the shoulds and the don'ts that were the projections of people who had their own fears and doubts. And mostly they meant well, but they were so afraid they wanted to constrain us. They wanted to hold us back, to be safe. Now in the song, remember, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world. Over the last 2 weeks, Reverend Jim talked about anger and how to frame it, claim it, and tame it. And how anger can be a catalyst for something good, something greater to emerge in your life. Now, some of humankind's greatest accomplishments have come when people were frustrated or angry, when they saw an injustice. You know, I always think of Gandhi, that anger that he had, that he funneled through love, that he transformed through love. Now, I happen to be born the year that India regained its independence from Great Britain. And Gandhi did it through love. He transformed the anger and the frustration of the Indian people, and they won their freedom. You know, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Now, the phoenix is a mythological bird that is brightly plumaged, and it dies of its own making in a fire after a long life. And then it rises from the ashes to be born again, to be born into its own greatness again. You know, think about it, it's somewhat like the sun. You know, the sun disappears, doesn't it? It dies over the horizon. And yet the next morning, it rises up again. And that's the invitation to us, especially now during this COVID-19 challenge. Now, I've heard people say, you know, I'm despondent, I've given up, there's nothing I can do, I'm never going to make it through, I'm going to go bankrupt. And there's all this lamentation. And yet, this is such a beautiful opportunity for rebirthing. You know, you could choose to zone out, watching TV, binge watching programs that are going to add nothing to your quality of life. Or you could start dreaming, because it's a whole new world. Imagine that, a whole new world, inviting you, enticing you to rise up like the phoenix from the ashes. You might think, well, I don't know what I want to do. Well, my invitation actually it's going to be an assignment at the end of this lesson, is that you start going back to all of those dreams and desires that you had earlier in your life. What is it that you wanted to be when you grew up? I'm still trying to figure that out. But I remember when I was coming up through junior and senior high school, I wanted to be an artist. And I thought, well, and I did this own self-determination that, well, that's not going to make much money, because all I knew was artists painted pictures. And I was a pretty decent artist, but I gave that up to do something more practical. I didn't know there was such a thing as graphic design. And then they came out with computers and graphic design. I mean, I would have been in puppy dog heaven if I had gone down that road. Instead, I'm standing here talking to you and loving it. So what is it that you would like to do? And don't tell me you don't know how. There's something called Google. There's something called YouTube, YouTube. And anything you want to learn how to do is available to you through Google and YouTube. And there's something called the library. There is so much that you could learn right now to create the life you would love. But first you have to have it in your mind's eye. Imagine, again, the tree of possibilities as you start climbing up it, one branch at a time. And sometimes you have to let go of that branch that's secure for you and leap out into faith that next branch is there for you to grasp and hold, and that you can climb higher and higher and higher and higher. In the movie Aladdin, at one point, when Aladdin first comes with the magic carpet and he arrives at the balcony of the princess, and she goes, "Wow, is that a magic carpet?" And he goes, "Yes." And he holds out his hand and he says, "Do you trust me?" And she hesitates only a moment and she says, "Yes." And she reaches out her hand and takes his as he guides her onto the magic carpet. And they sail off over vistas that the princess had never imagined before. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world. Do you get that? This is the possibilities for you. This is the phoenix rising. If you're feeling frustrated or angry, this is naming it, claiming it. Let's name it, frame it, and tame it. I like to say when you have a new vision, a new idea, name it, claim it, and proclaim it. Proclaim it to the world, because this is yours to have right now. And if you're worried about being taken care of, remember what Jesus said in Luke. He says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. Life is more than food, and the body more than clothes. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than the birds? Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? Since you cannot do this very little thing, why do you worry about the rest? Consider how the lilies grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the fields, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, how much more will he clothe you? Oh, you knuckleheads. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you of little faith. And do not worry, and do not set your heart on what you will eat or drink. Do not worry about it, for the human world runs after such things. And your Father knows that you need them. But seek his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Okay, seek his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. And that kingdom is that space of creativity. That kingdom is the abundance of the universe. Remember, in the beginning, God. Now, that's all you need. We could almost stop there, and we don't need the rest of the Bible, right? In the beginning, God. But then it's like God created. He brought the waters. He separated them. He populated the seas and the air, and then the land. And then he created you. In its own image, God created you. And God is that immeasurable, unstoppable, creative force that is yearning to express through you. So you're ready to take the challenge? Or are you going to say, no, COVID-19, all these outer conditions have taken me down? I remember years ago, before 1988, those major fires in Yellowstone National Park, I drove through there and I saw the lushness of the forest. And then we saw what the damage was done by those fires. It was almost 794,000 acres decimated by those fires. And the Forest Service came under a lot of criticism for letting the fires basically blaze freely. But the next year I drove through there after the fire. And there was already green coming through. There's even, if I looked over the other side of the road, there were wildflowers. And now, years later, you can barely tell there was ever a fire, because that is the nature of life. That is your nature, to rebuild, to come up like the phoenix out of the fires. To climb your tree of possibility, because it's in you yearning to come out. It's a whole new world. So are you ready for your assignment? All right. A vision. Remember, in Proverbs we read, without vision the people will perish. I want you to create your vision of what your life looks like a year from now. And I want you to write it down. So join us for fellowship. We can talk about this. And then write it down so that it's anchored. And write it as if it's already happened. All right? Imagine the greatest vision for yourself and for your family and your friends, regardless of outer conditions, because you are greater than the outer conditions. You are God expressing through you. And begin your statement with, I am so happy and grateful now that I. Write it as if it's already happened. And at the end, say this or something better. And because you go through this exercise, because you go through this birthing of the greater you that is there, that I see in you, you are going to start thinking as that person already living that life. You'll be speaking as that person, and you will act as a person who is already there. I can show you the world. Endless possibilities. And all it takes is for you to get on that magic carpet and to fly to the highest of your possibilities. And so it is.
Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Sophia. What a beautiful, beautiful form of sharing how we are in a new dimension of looking at this new world we get to create. So grateful to be with you this week. My name is Mary Liz Monzon. I'm a mindfulness and meditation trainer. I also teach the Youth of Unity and the Uniteens here at Unity of Las Vegas. And so we'll be grounding together in this intentional visualization meditation, really how perfect timing it is, because it is a full moon this week, right now. We're in the essence of a straight new form of creative energy. So as we ground in this meditation, you're invited to really allow yourself to be like a child, pure and innocent, to witness your own vision, like Reverend Sophia said, to tap into that true innocent nature of what is possible for me, what is the vision that I hold within me, and can I see it in full 3D life picture as if it is already done. So let's take a few breaths. You are invited to get in a seated posture, feet on the floor. Let's not cross the body language. Let's stay open. So hands facing upward on your knees and feet uncrossed. Either you're seated at home in lotus in like an Indian style, or on a chair with your feet firmly grounded, rested. Let's take a few breaths. Roll the shoulders back, chest is high. Big inhale through the nose. And then exhale is through the mouth. Just really rooting in your body. Big inhale is through the nose. And just a gratitude, life energy, exhale. One more just like this. Inhale, belly rounds like a Buddha belly, chest high, shoulders roll back. Inhale. And slow exhale. Really, you're just invited to give gratitude to this body. You're here right now, 2020, alive and thriving. And can we give appreciation to this temple? Take a breath. Big inhale is through the nose. And gratitude, exhale. And as you're seated comfortably wherever you are, simply just send an affirmative gratefulness to this body. I am whole right where I am. I am whole right where I am. Take a breath, big inhale through the nose, and big exhale. And honoring this temple, this body that knows how to breathe without us telling it, knows how to envision and see the possibility with our own intention and awareness. One breath here, belly out, big inhale. And you're at home or wherever you are, sigh it out. This whole new world I get to create, and I am not alone in creating it. In this time and space, can I be so honest with myself? In this momentum, in this global reset, can I get a clear feeling? Can I receive and can I give away what really is in me to show up, to serve? I get to recreate myself. I get to open up in a greater form. I have an opportunity that is divine to be what I am in a greater capacity because the world needs it and the soul is calling forward. Take a breath, big inhale and big exhale. If I were to be so honest with myself, like a child with no limits of imagination, what's something in me that I really feel the call, really feel the soul bringing to my awareness that yes, this is something that gives me joy. Yes, even if it's a hobby or even a distant dream, can I give myself permission to feel activated in what brings joy for me? Because when I feel in alignment, when I feel good inside myself, everyone wins. The joy in me is contagious and the world is calling for it to show up as my greatest self. Big inhale and big exhale. If I were to be so honest with myself, right now, right here, 2020, in this season, midst of summer, full moon, what am I being called to look at? To greatly receive the imagination of self, the higher soul self that says, hey, yeah, that does feel good. Why not be that? Why not pursue this? Why not say yes to the invitation that this season of the world is showing for me to say yes to? Why not? Big inhales through the nose and big exhale. I allow myself to take on this opportunity of this new world that I and my beloved higher self, the universe, is saying, this is why you are here. I'm here to show up as myself, and in that I am giving impact to humanity simply by being in alignment with the vision I hold within me, by saying yes to the creative energy inside me, by saying I am open and knowing that all things are working for me and the highest good of everyone. I get to recreate this reality with love and intention. I see from a higher perspective, and I am showing up. Big inhale through the nose and big exhale. You're invited to take a few sincere moments with the soul self. If I were to be so clear and honest, can I allow myself to receive right now, this season, what is in me to allow for me to really pursue, be creative in, to believe in? That business I wanted to open, yeah, this is the best time to do it. That relationship I'm calling forward, this is the opportunity to expand. This heartfelt desire of me creating this project, yes, I believe in it. The passion is there and nothing is holding me back. Can I take a moment to listen in? What right now am I being called to believe in within myself? To really believe and have faith, like the phoenix rising out of the ashes, knowing its possibility, the potential within. Can I sit and really allow myself to believe that it is possible to see it in 3D, in full color, to the right side of the hemisphere, to see it already happening, to believe it and see it already done? Take a moment, big breath in and big exhale. What within me is being asked of me to create, to believe, to take a step into even the unknown, into the unknown? Can I be so honest within me? If there is one thing rising in today, what in me is saying, it's time. I believe in this. This is something that calls me forward. Can I pursue this with active intention? Take a few breaths. Paying attention to the breath, big inhale through the nose and big exhale. Paying attention, even if it may not come now, being open. I am open to seeing. I am open to creating. I am open to the yes within me that says it's possible. And even greater still, what does it look like to be in full joy? If that's having a closer relationship with my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my daughter, my son, my friend, then see that in full color, in 3D, as if already happening. What does it look like to be in full joy, to feel fulfilled? It might not even be material. It could be you walking on a beach and feeling good. To see it in 3D in full color, what does it feel like to feel fulfilled? The body whole, healthy and thriving. Abundance coming in every form. A free coffee, a free ride, a free dinner. Abundance is here and now. I take full, open ownership of knowing I'm creating it. Abundance through the bank, abundance in my friendship, abundance in my wealth consciousness. Fulfilled I am. I am fulfilled. Big inhales through the nose, belly out, shoulders back, and sigh it out. Big inhale, shoulders back, chest high, and exhale. I am open to receive. The greater world is now. A whole new world. I am a part of it. I am co-creating it with the divine, with fellow brothers and sisters, tuning in, tapping into this new golden age. I am here. Big inhale and big exhale. A whole new world. A dazzling place to be. Here I am showing up for my greatest fulfillments. I am a part of it. I am co-creating it. I'm saying yes to it. It is done. Big breath in and sigh it out. Giving gratitude for the inspiration, for taking time for myself, and also the follow through. When I leave even this moment of silence within myself, may I make that intention to write it down, to follow through. Oh, that was what I wanted to do. Let me make sure I follow through. That thing I wanted to pursue, I'm gonna make sure I buy that project I wanted from Michael's. I'm gonna go and call my friend and share my idea, make it physical. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hand and heart to chest. This is the right and left side, masculine, feminine, coming as one, creative energy, bowing down. I humbly bow down in gratitude to the highest soul self, showing up in this new world I am a part of. Big breath in and exhale. Thank you for being with me and joining in this collective visualization of knowing your true self and showing up with collective humanity in this new world. I'm Mary Liz. Thanks so much.
So everyone, I just want to say a personal thank you to Reverend Sophia and Mary Liz for the wonderful service that we've had today. And so I just want you to know if something touched and moved you, I just want you to know it was definitely on purpose. And now, create the opportunity for us to be the instrument that keeps on giving. We invite you to join into the sacred circle that we're now creating with the Almighty and with all of us. Contribute to it in such a way that we can continue to give back to you. So donate any amount that feels comfortable for you to come through your prayer time. Hit the donate button, or I would say we're making it very easy. You can text us via your cell phone as well. With all of those things in mind now, we're ready to create the atmosphere in which you can move forward into a whole new world that we're co-creating not only together with the Almighty. And with that now, we're just sending everybody off in an attitude of gratitude, a feeling of blessing. And let's close out with a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God, just watches over us. Wherever we are and wherever we go, just know the truth that God is there and all is well. That feels good. Oh my God. What a fantastic time to be alive. Amen.
Come on. I came here to be victorious. spiritual clay for radiant light. Radiant light. I'm a victorious spiritual clay for radiant light. I'm a victorious spiritual clay for radiant light. I'm a victorious spiritual